Well, as it pertains to battlefield options, we don't disclose those types of things. But ultimately, as the president stated publicly in his truth, at the request of the Pakistanis and given the options in the negotiation, it was paused, and it's an option we could always recommence should the commander-in-chief want us to.
Is the theory to create more ceasefires or more projects just to evade the War Powers Act?
The theory of the entire case is to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon. And if that has to be done kinetically and militarily, the Department of War is locked and loaded and ready to do that. If it happens through Project Freedom, where you move commerce through, if it happens through a negotiated deal, the president was very clear, even yesterday. This is actually quite simple. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, one way or another, and we're here to support as one tool of the whole of government to make that happen.
General Kane, the depleted munitions have been a subject of some of the discussions that you've even heard here today. With respect to stockpiles that we have around the world, key regions like the Indo-Pacific and the Middle East, can you give us an update? What are you hearing from the combatant commands about their munitions status around the world?
Well, sir, we have sufficient munitions for what we're tasked to do right now. That's what I hear from the COCOMs. What I will say is I will always want more, so I appreciate the effort of this committee and the Congress. We're always going to want more munitions.
Secretary Hegseth, what are you doing to support the involved services to recap their losses?
We're submitting a $1.5 trillion budget that'll remake the department and ensure that every warfighter in the future has exactly what they need, and we're never in a fair fight. And I take issue with the characterization that munitions are depleted in a public forum. That's not true. And ultimately, we have all the munitions needed to execute what we need to execute, and we're going to ensure that we supercharge that going into the future.
I think you've heard differences from both sides of the aisle on that point. Yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, gentlemen. Judge Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to each of you. We're glad you're here. Start off with something I'm concerned about. Mr. Secretary, my MILCON VA subcommittee is aware of living conditions of the 68W combat medic students at the Joint Base San Antonio. Frankly, they're very unacceptable and quite unlivable. As chairman of the MILCON committee, I'm deeply concerned that there appears to be no imminent path forward to fix these issues. What actions is the department taking to improve these living conditions and ensure our soldiers receive safe and dignified housing, not now and not in the years to come? Our budget cannot fix that. It's not, we don't have enough money. You got all the money. What do you think about that?
First of all, let's fix that. Whatever unit that is, we want to know about it, and we're going to get a team out there right away to address it. And we've used discrete examples like that to find the gaps in why we're not getting at it on a more holistic fashion. Because we came in on a huge deficit of maintenance on barracks and housing. This budget funds that. We're also going to pursue MILCON reform, because in too many places we're trying to build things around MILCON as opposed to using MILCON, because MILCON is so bureaucratic and slow in its process. So we look forward to working with you to fix that, not just this discrete barracks issue, but where we found them, we fixed it, and then we've energized the system through a barracks task force to flow money exactly where it needs to go.
And I'm a champion of speeding up MILCON everywhere we can. And I've been out to Guam and some of those places, and we got a lot of needs out that way. I mean, and we're way beyond what our budget will sustain. But I have another question for you. I represent Fort Hood, the home of the 1st Air Cavalry Division Brigade, operating Apaches, Blackhawks, and Chinook helicopters. And I'm concerned that the FY27 budget request does not support these programs, essentially zeroing out funding across the 3 platforms, despite the Army stating that we're going to use these aircraft and they will operate for decades to come. With that, the Chinook has no replacement for heavy lift mission. Now, will the department manage aviation modernization, and how will they do that?